For the first time in his tenure, the outgoing Secretary of Defense was asked about UAPs. But before we get to his response, I want to highlight the statement that the reporter, Brandy Vincent, made leading into the question that she asked.
I hope you're okay with this question.
I hope you're okay with this question. That question tells me that the stigma surrounding UFOs has been so pervasive throughout mainstream media that reporters have been unwilling to ask Austin about a UFO investigation office within his own department. Well, to any reporters that are watching this, things are about to change because turnabout is fair play. And that's because the incoming Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, wasn't shy about cutting to the chase and straight up asking the former Director of National Intelligence and the future Director of the CIA, John Ratcliffe.
John, treat us like an adult here. You've seen the intel. It's January 15th in the year 2023. Are aliens real?
So that clip should give any reporter out there the green light to ask Trump's future SECDEF any questions about Arrow, UAPs, Immaculate Constellation, or anything. Because if he's willing to put people on the hot seat about UAPs, then he should be ready to sit in it himself. But back to Austin's comments, which I'll play in full at the end of this video. But until then, this is the comment that he made that stood out to me the most.
There are things that happen, that have happened, and probably will continue to happen that are difficult to explain.
Which eerily aligns with comments that John Ratcliffe has made previously.
When we talk about sightings, we're talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots or have been picked up by satellite imagery that, frankly, engage in actions that are difficult to explain.
Speaking of satellite imagery, the former interim director of Arrow, Tim Phillips, has just stated that John Ratcliffe, Chris Mellon, and the author of the Immaculate Constellation report are wrong, and that the satellite imagery of UAPs that they've seen are not actually UAPs. So I encourage any reporters that are watching this to be bold enough to ask the future SECDEF if he can clarify whether or not UAPs caught on satellites are in fact UAPs or not. And while you're at it, please ask the director of the CIA what he thinks about Tim Phillips implying that he is mistaken. And with that, here's Austin's full response.
Quite frankly, I've not seen any UAP incidents that I would categorize as threatening non-security. There are things that happen, that have happened, and probably will continue to happen that are difficult to explain. And so when we encounter things like that, we will go and investigate those things because whether it's some really unexplained phenomena or it's just something that is explainable, we just have to get to the root cause. We've organized our effort to ensure that we can methodically identify and assess these incidents. And I want to thank Congress for continuing to support us with the resources that we need to be effective.